This is Bernard Lee from I-ntellect Digital Marketing. I want to welcome everyone to another in our series of presentations on how to go from a leader to the leader. And today we're talking about the digital accelerator, how to manage the collision between brand sales and the digital world. Now, we've all heard about the story of no traction, and if we haven't, we're about to hear about it now. What we hear a lot of when we go out into the market and people want to talk to us about how to improve their digital market strategy, they'll talk about, hey, I have a logo. We'll ask, does your logo help you sell? I've got a brand. We ask, how are you different? I need a digital strategy. We ask, how committed are you to it? Because it's not a campaign. This is a long-term strategy. We'll hear our marketing is our sales and our staff process is fine, and we say sales is not marketing. Or our sales teams learn from each other and they don't really interact with marketing. We asked pretty simply, why not? Or I'm looking for a website that converts, and I want to know right away, what's your story? What are you really selling, and why do your potential customers and clients need it? But more importantly, I want to know who you position as a hero in your story. And if you're the hero, then that's one of probably many mistakes. Then we'll hear, just fill in the blank, here. Our sales is not working. Our markets aren't expanding. We're not penetrating with our new product line. This is a statement that we hear the most. We believe that something equates to a number of items that are generally achievable, but it begins with a new way of thinking. Look, we know it's not that easy. Organizations are extremely comfortable operating within their individual silos. Sales and marketing, even though we have it grouped as one, a lot of times they're separate. Digital generally is going to receive all the information after brand sales and marketing have had their go at it. And as we kind of really go into the individual silos, when we want to talk specifically about brand, what companies generally are missing in a lot of instances is clarity. What is that their differentiation to the market? Have they really developed a strategy? In a lot of cases, it's not really written down, it's not communicated well, that vision is not clear. But to transform it, really focusing on a very clear, cohesive brand strategy that really communicates that promise, what your value proposition is, making sure that there's a buy-in from the organization, whether that be sales or operations or even the receptionist. Everyone needs to work together, and then have an outside-in plan. Outside in, whatever it is that you're promoting outside, to make sure that that is clearly articulated, from within the organization. Sales and marketing, kind of like cats and dogs. I don't love you, as you see here. Generally, what's missing with the organization is they don't really have a brand that can be acted out. We really now live in a first-person world. So we realize that the prospect has already researched the company and the product online. They're knowledgeable as a salesperson about the product. In many cases, they've already decided. A brand with meat, kind of goes back to who are you? What is it that you want to say to the market? How do you help to transform your clients? But how can we help to transform this particular issue within the organization? Simply as a culture where everyone plays a role of a brand ambassador. Whether it be, again, the receptionists, the salespeople, they're out, they're doing that first, second, and third touch a lot of times. They're really communicating, who you are as an organization. And then making sure that you define your ideal customer, not spending a lot of time on let's say, verticals that just don't make sense for you. And then to amplify and surround. I believe the walls of organizations have become invisible, and your customers know all about you before you arrive. So what is it that you're selling? People want to know the stories of those who have built the company, who work there every day. So your message, the focus, you really want to make sure that you're not amplifying, let's say, a murky message on multiple channels. It's confusing potential customers and clients. It's not really cutting through the clutter that we all live through, those 5,000 messages a day. But then how to transform it, really recognizing the best digital platform for you, then investing in that system, determining, what is the message, and you want to start thinking in terms of a media company. You control the narrative. You really have a role in what people understand about what it is that your company do. And I'm not talking about features and products and benefits. I'm talking about really how you help to transform your clients, their issues, their challenges, their problems. So we want to talk about a new way to plan here. And in thinking this way, we realize that the traditional marketing plan construct, as many of us learned and did as well, acts to push to the silos. All right, the marketing plan is actually written by the marketing silo, so then it's got to be handed to the sales silo or not. But often marketing does this thing with not enough collaboration from sales. Marketers don't tend to think like organizational change management agents, so they create their program, launch the campaign, proudly point out how good everything looks, and it does. But the problem is that executives, customer service support, sales, inside sales desks, and the whole rest of the cast in your company is watching this on TV, on the sidelines, from afar. It's not their campaign after all, it belongs to marketing. So to break this construct, we had to break the format and to create a new one. It's new. It may not do it for you, but we guarantee if you write your plan starting with the brand, then moving to roles, behavior, and then channels and metrics, you end up in a different place. So in terms of a new way to think, one, begin with what should the customer experience be? Then how do we behave the brand? And then thirdly, how, when, and who amplifies it? So we continue to be amazed by brands. But if you want to think differently about your brand, the first thing we urge customers and clients to accept is that a brand is not a creative exercise. It is a strategic exercise. So brands that we've seen that are based on creative thinking only lack traction. They lose steam over time, and clients often don't know how to implement it. And why? Because there's no there there. So how do we behave the brand? And how and when and who amplifies it's really what it comes down to. So another question would be, well, why is this thinking strategic? Because to understand what you should be delivering your customers, you have to go and talk to them, find out what their ideal relationship looks like. Then you build the brand from the ground up to deliver the idea. No company should be dictating what they think their customers want, because that's generally wrong. If you ask how we behave the brand, what you're implying is that everyone in your organization has a role in delivering the brand experience. Accounting, admin folks, legal, the executive team, everyone has a role alongside with marketing, sales, customer service, and report. All the traditional things and the traditional folks who are facing customers every day. So if you amplify the brand, this is really taking all the content and behavior and showcasing it through the communication channels that you choose, whether it be LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. We have 1,000 channels. It doesn't mean that we watch all of them. So you want to make sure that you're picking the one that's the most appropriate for your company. And brands are a long-term proposition. Famous CEOs come and go, but the brands will live on. Companies go out of business, brands still live on. Brands are bought, sold, and they can go from one company to another in ownership and still pull their meaning and loyalty customers that they'll come along with them. So we say start here. Start with the brand. Customer experience, content, behavior. And to just kind of give a glimpse of the pieces we're talking about, we want to start with the core, that cycle in the middle, the previous graphic that touches everything, the brand. It's basically the life of your company, and we'll kind of call it the oracle of all knowledge and information, the expression of your brand DNA. So you see position, promise, pillars, roles, personalities, messages, all these attributes that are really going to define your brand. When it comes to your website and the properties in terms of platforms that you want to go ahead and utilize, I would say you always want to have your website as the center of your universe. And depending on what type of organization, even if you're a B2B, obviously LinkedIn is important, but being able to kind of communicate, those articles. So let's say you have an article. That article turns into a blog on your website. Now, from that same article can be turned into an article on LinkedIn. And now you can also turn it into a quick YouTube video. It can be amplified further through Twitter. You can turn it into a SlideShare presentation that can be presented, again, on LinkedIn, but also on Google and also onto your website. And then Instagram, you can show it visually with links going back to your website. So being able to amplify that great message that's been developed by a brand puts you much further ahead of the competition. And now you really have something to say. So really how to gain the advantage, find the conversations that already exist around your brand, your industry. Where is that online? And then being able to combine it with something called micro moments. And micro moments are those I want to watch, know, go, do, and buy moments that are really about intent. So when it comes to a B2B company, if someone is about to do a big presentation, they may go and Google, something about some software, or software as a service that can allow them to improve upon their presentation and learn other skills. That may be a Google search. From that Google search, it's going to give you a number of companies. That is a micro moment because you're looking for something specific that has a specific intent, where you're looking for information or to make a purchase. We actually have a discussion on micro moments in our series, and that will give you a little more color. So if you get a chance, go ahead and watch that one as well. We also talk about the conversation calendar. One of the problems that we've seen is that when someone has all the information and they've gone and pulled it, and you're made a decision to go ahead and amplify it on these platforms, the problem is that everyone is sending it out at once. So if you have a great following, let's say that you have some of your followers who may be following you on Twitter, or maybe following you on LinkedIn. They may be on their YouTube channel, Facebook as well. A lot of times everyone will just post it one time. And rather than doing that, we always suggest that you stagger the post, stagger it, different times of the day. Use Twitter to amplify it multiple times with links to multiple platforms. So you're pushing it out with Twitter. Twitter is a fire hose of information. Facebook is as well. So if you believe that you can go ahead and post one time and your entire audience is going to see it at 10:42 a.m. in the morning, then that's a mistake. So this conversation calendar really helps to schedule it out, and everyone's familiar with Hootsuite and some of the other platforms that can do this for you. We just want to make sure that if you're going to use those, that you make sure that you put some distance between the times that you're going to post. So then at the end, it really also comes down to an updated sales approach. Sales are really going to pull from the brand and really lean on it. We want them to embrace the role of the brand. They're going to have some guardrails that come down to, that brand positioning and promise. We don't want sales delivering one message, the website and all your collateral delivering another, and then your social media delivering the third message. So being able to have sales be involved in this process with marketing and then going out from a brand perspective, working together to put those messages as far as your promise, your position, your pillars, really having sales be involved there. So now when sales goes out and they begin to utilize social media, their message is consistent with the rest of the brand and everyone is behaving the brand. So again, I want to go ahead and thank you for spending a couple minutes with us today. This is, again, Bernard Lee from I-ntellect Digital Marketing. We're just providing information to help you move your company forward. And again, what we do is we design digital marketing strategies that take you from a leader to the leader. You can reach us at our website, I-ntellect.com. Shoot us an email at info@I-ntellect.com as well. And we hope that this is going to help. So until next time, everyone.